Okay, on today's lesson, we're going to talk about deciphering word problems, something that often give math students a great deal of trouble. And we're going to talk about some ways to decipher some pretty basic word problems, such as those that involve addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and the order of operations. If you notice up here, we have a chart of mathematical buzzwords. Okay? When you're reading through your word problems, look for these words, and they help you figure out which operations you need to look at. And by operations, I mean addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So, words that we think of addition are words such as sum, greater, total, plus, increase, and gain. Some words we think about subtraction, difference, take away, minus, multiplication, multiply, product, times, division, divide, quotient, split up, fit into, per. These are all different words that can help us decipher which operations are used where in our math word problems. But there's also a good algorithm, a good method we can use to decipher these and use these buzzwords. So step 1 says, seek out the information you do not need and cross it out. Okay? This is important as a lot of word problems often involve information that we don't need to know, such as this one right here. It says Jim has 4 less apples than his sister Joanne. We don't care that Joanne is Jim's sister. It doesn't matter to us. We just care about the numbers, such as the fact that he has 4 less apples than Joanne. How many apples does Jim have? Okay? On here, on my page, it's not crossed out, but if I were looking at this on something else, I would cross out his sister, Joanne. Or I would just cross out his sister. Joanne has 12 apples. How many does Jim have? In this other example, it says Cindy is twice the age of her brother Alex. Again, we don't care that Alex is Cindy's brother. It doesn't matter to us. Alright, if we read on, it says Alex is triple the age of his sister, Molly. Okay? We don't care that Molly is Alex's sister. We don't care how these people are related. We just want to look at what's the math behind it so that we can solve the problem. So to solve the problem, it's not necessarily to know how these people are related to each other. Find the buzzwords and the numbers and go from there. Step 2 says, look through the word problem and find the buzzwords. Underline them, circle them, or highlight them to make them stand out to you. Okay, in this example, I've written the same example again, but this time I've underlined the word less right here. Underline the word less. Here I've underlined the word twice and the word triple. Okay, because those are buzzwords that help us figure out where our operations are. So by placing emphasis on these buzzwords, they're more likely to stand out to us when we are solving the problem. The final step in trying to decipher our word problems, step 3 says, near each buzzword, write the operation that it is associated with. Okay, so right down here, I've written the same word problems. This time, I found the word less. I look up in my chart. It goes with subtraction. So next to it, I've written that less is subtraction. All right, I did the same thing in the other problem. By writing the operation above or below each buzzword, you are able to visualize more clearly how the equation should look. Okay. So there's some word problems we can look at. Okay. Some more problems we can look at, such as this one with addition and subtraction. There are lots of buzzwords in this one. John Brown is taking 5 classes at his university. 2 of the classes are worth 4 credit hours. 2 of the classes are worth 2 credit hours. And 1 of the classes is worth 5 credit hours. How many credit hours does he have? Okay, there's another buzzword again. How many? Okay, how many usually means how many total? What's the sum? How do we add these numbers together? If he were to drop his 5 credit hour class, okay, drop usually means we're getting rid of something. Would he still be a full-time student? A full-time student has 12 credit hours. So if I analyze this, I have that we have 5 classes, and I know how much each class is worth. So I can add those classes together and determine that he is getting 17 credit hours. If he drops his 5 credit hour class, that would be 17 credit hours minus 5 credit hours, would put him at 12 credit hours, making him still a full-time student. In multiplication and division, we have Mark is baking 12 batches of cookies for a bake sale. Each batch has 14 cookies in it. He is wanting to put 7 cookies in small bags and sell them for $2.50 each. How much money will he make? Okay? Again, we have these buzzwords. Okay? put them in small bags and sell them for $2.50 each. Okay, so each group of cookies is being sold for $2.50. How much money will he make? Okay, we know that there will be 14 cookies in it, and each one of those cookies has $2.50. So he'll make 14 times $2.50. Order of operations, okay, and averages. With these problems, we use order of operations as discussed in other videos, and we find averages. Okay, this is giving some test scores of a student, and it's saying find the average. It then goes on to say if the student got a 97 on their next exam, by how many points would their average increase? An increase is one that goes with addition. So how many points are going to be added to that student's score if they got a 97 on their exam? All right, let's look at now something with formulas and fractions. Okay, this one involves finding the area, how much square carpet is needed to cover the area of the room. All right, so what do we have here? We have a rectangle, okay, a rectangle of carpet. It says the dimensions of this rectangle are 15 and 7/8 feet by 13 and 2/7 feet. So what do we have? We have to find the area. Okay, area is base times height, or basically these two numbers multiplied together. So we can find the area by simply multiplying those together. Formulas and geometry, if we look at this, okay, this is another one, putting the formula in. I give you the formula to find the answer. We want to know a circular room is 18 feet in diameter. If a person were to put carpeted trim around the base of the room, the circumference C, how many feet would they need? Use 3.14 for pi, do not use a calculator. Hint, C equals pi times D. Okay, so we know that the diameter is 18 feet. Okay, the hint says pi times D is C, so we just take 18 times 3.14 and we get the answer for C. So in closing, word problems aren't as scary as they seem, and they can be pretty easily dissected with a little quick strategy.